Hello, good morning, everyone. Very nice to see you all joining in right on time. Hi, Bharat.
Hi, ma'am.
Good to
Good
see
morning.
you. Good to hear you.
How are you?
Very, very good. Hello, good morning, everyone. Okay, very nice to see you all joining in. This was my live talking, so apologies for that. Okay. I see Noreen also joined in. Hi, Noreen. So nice to see you.
Hi, ma'am. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Thank you for the initiative of making time for all of us, even on a holiday time.
This is all your energy. All of you want to learn, and I'm very happy. So uh, it's the audience who make the speakers. So thank you so much for all your energy.
Hi Bindu, good morning.
Hey, Suman, good morning.
How are you, dear?
Very, very good. Very excited to meet all of you. And if
Great.
anyone can come on video, please do come on video. Would be great to see you all. We are all live on YouTube. So let's say a quick hi to everyone in the world who's watching us. Well, we might not be as famous, but yes, let's see.
Merry Christmas to all.
Merry Christmas.
And,
Hi, Shri. Good to see you. You're on mute.
Hey, all. Good morning.
Good morning. Shri, the background is real books or is that a... Looks like a real background.
These are some. Yes, it's a real background. I'm motivated that I bought many posters and I just placed back. I'll just show you quickly.
Wow, super.
So it is my new workplace, as I was saying. So I just thought of making it more colorful because staring at a wall makes you feel okay.
Brilliant.
Not making
Great to see that. Awesome. So we're doing everything we can to really stay put, stay there, build resilience. Super. Okay, so we are I think 7, 8 of us, and we're just going to let me just check. So let's give 2 more minutes and then we'll get started. So just 2 more minutes from all of you. Nehul, are you able to hear us and connect well now? Nehul? Okay.
Hello. Yes, hi. I'm able to hear you.
Excellent. Great. Thank you. So I hope you're all ready, set with your questions. The topic is quite interesting, and I'm also looking forward to introduce you to our guest today. So just 2 more minutes and we'll get started. Okay. Hi,
Morning.
Nasir. Good morning.
How are you?
Very, very good. So nice to see you here.
Same here, same here. Pleasure is always mine. Nice to see you. Long time.
Yes, long time. Yeah, COVID season, everything is long time now.
I know.
Okay. So it's 11:05 and let's get started. We are live on YouTube and a very, very good morning to all of you who have been able to make it, because you know what? Yours are the questions that are going to get answered. And I am thoroughly delighted to welcome our special guest in the Detox series, and that is Bhanu Sharma. Hi, Bhanu. You're on mute right now.
Yeah, hi everyone. Hi Bindu.
Hello. So, yes, Bhanu and I go a long way back. I think 2011 is when we started our journey. And we incidentally met in one of the workshops, which was very, very closely related to conflict management. And since then till now, we never had a conflict, right, Bhanu? So in the whole journey, of course, lives have changed. It's been around 9 years now, and I have seen Bhanu grow a lot in as a human being, as a professional, and today he's leading one of the prominent, businesses in JSW as HR, and he'll be very soon joining a new team which is on strategy. And we'd love to hear from you more. Bhanu has 20 plus years of experience in the corporate world, and anything that I say about him will be really, really very less. And I don't think I'll be able to do justice. But one thing, and personally that I know about him is that he's not the kinds who would say things to please others. He just calls spade a spade, and I absolutely love that quality. I also hate it because a lot of times uh, I might not necessarily digest it at the same time. Later on when I think about what Bhanu said, it just makes sense. Fortunately or unfortunately, it makes sense. So he's got some radical point of views, and I thought there could be nobody else who can do justice to the topic than Bhanu. So Bhanu, very, very welcome, and thank you so much for making it here. Anything that you would want to say, if I've missed anything from your introduction? I know it was very long, and I thought personal introduction will be much better for this group, and then I'll
Yeah.
introduce the group to you. Yes, Bhanu.
No, so I'm delighted to be here, and it's a long weekend, so I'm like great people who are here. I am sure they would be really interested in the topic because uh, I slept at 3 yesterday, so I was in two minds. But since it was Bindu, so here we are at 11 o'clock. Yeah.
Thank you so much. That means a lot to us. So, just to give you a quick background, Bhanu, about this group, this is a wonderful, wonderful cohort that we have created. It's called Positive Lights, and there are hundreds of people as part of Positive Lights that are together in this journey from last, I think, from 5-6 years now. And this is a new initiative we started. We started inviting guests to talk about their expertise, areas where they have gotten experiences. So here we are with you. And I see a lot of people now joining in. So welcome everyone. Dharmesh, great to see you here. And
Hi, Dharmesh.
so that's our common
Hey,
connection. Okay.
Bhanu.
Yeah. So for everybody, Dharmesh has helped me a lot in helping me manage my conflicts with myself.
It's kind of a test for you, Bhanu, now. That's a surprise entry we got. So thank you, Dharmesh, for joining in, taking out time. And
Well, I didn't know it was Bhanu, so I just joined in, and it was so surprising to see him there.
excellent.
Wonderful, wonderful.
So let's get started now. And everyone who can come on video, please do. It's always good to connect face to face. Great to see you, Tejal. That's my lovely Positive Lights group. And let's get started. Let me just, I know I'm not a very slight person, but still, I think it'll be good to anchor a few couple of points, and then we will go ahead with our discussions. So, are you able to see the slides?
Yes.
Yes.
Great. Okay.
Yes, Bindu.
And we would not want this session to be one way or something where we continue to talk and you continue to listen. So let's make it interactive. And to start with, let me first introduce you to the agenda. So how we are going to go about. So initial 30 to 45 minutes, we will be sharing some true insights about conflicts, something that might help in overall conflict management, be it anywhere. Today, the boundaries between the workforce and the families have obviously reduced. Somebody made a joke on Positive Lights group as well today that it's not only workplace, our workplace is home now, and I totally concur with that. So, keeping that in mind, we will share with you a couple of insights around conflicts that can help you get some answers. Then in the last 45 to 50 minutes, whatever we are remaining with, we'll open it to questions. This is a heavy topic. I don't promise we'll answer all, but then what I can promise is last 1 week we are offering, if you have any specific issues, please do reach out to me. And there are a lot of coaches and cohorts who are ready to help you one on one. We know these are stressful times, right? So the star topic of today is boss management, which Bhanu will be talking about a little later. And I know how close we are to this topic. So are you all set? Are you all ready? Just write your yeses on the chats and then we'll get started. Let's see how much energy we get. Okay, Nasir, you're the first one to say yes. Others, let me see if your chats are working. Okay, thank you, Bharat. Got me. Cool. Okay, great. So, what I'm going to talk about in next 30, 45 minutes are some of, when we look at conflicts, what we have realized is that be it from the professional front or from the personal front, there are two core reasons of why conflict happen. And these two core reasons can answer 90% of your questions. Okay. So once we cover these, we'll move ahead. But here is the first one. Let's start with this. Now, if I were to ask you, which one out of the screen that you see, which one do you find most difficult? I'm giving them numbers and I want to see on the chat, which ones do you find difficult? Okay. One saying no. Okay. Others, which in public? So just write the numbers. Nureen says 3. Okay. Great. Now my question to all of you is, why is it difficult? Saying no is simple. Just say no. Why does it become difficult? I don't understand.
Because they have a very common answer to everything which you say nowadays, since we have started working from home. Like suppose if we are logging in by 10 and we have a standard office working hours from 10 to 7, so they have a common answer. Okay, you are at home only, you don't have to travel, so you can extend a little further. And they don't see it as a way of saying, they compare it with others. They say that, okay, because this person is doing, you also need to do. So that feels like, okay,
Yeah. So
you
then
are
what is
intruding.
the problem in saying no? That no, boss, I'm not going to do it, or no, stakeholder, clients. What is the problem? You just say no. I have boundaries and I won't. Why is it so difficult?
Even I am trying
I
to
feel
figure out this question. Sorry.
Yes, go ahead, Gautami.
I feel really difficult saying no because in personal you don't want to be hurting the other person. In personal, it becomes your duty that you have to be doing it. You if they give you some project and you can't tell them no, I'll not be able to do it. If the vendor tells I want it to be on this particular day, you can't tell no, because that
Right.
becomes your business there.
So Gautami, thank you so much. And one thing that you said was that I don't want to hurt anyone. That is in the personal context. But what are other reasons? Why would you not say no to people? One is again, of course, the fear of, end of the day hurting someone. What else?
It
Yeah.
could also affect your relationship with somebody. Probably the person would have had a very positive, approach towards you, telling, okay, this is something that this person can do it. And probably if I tell no, the rapport that I would have built over a period of time could affect. It could impact the entire relationship, or the way they perceive you after you say no is maybe there's a negative persuasion that comes. So every time they may brand you that, okay, this guy is somebody who always says no for things when it's required.
Okay. So fear of being branded. That's a great point, Nasir. Thank you.
One point is be looking good to everyone. So don't say no and look good to everyone. That's
And why is that? Why do we want to look good to everyone? What's the
maybe an inner fear, or it could be anything. It could be, okay, I want to establish myself. Okay, I'm a very good employee, or I'm a very good this. And then you try to look good to everyone in people's eyes. People pleaser, basically.
so
And
there's
then
an
don't say
embedded
no.
belief that if I say no, people will judge me.
No, it's not that people judge me.
Expectation.
Expectation that you want to be good to everybody, so you have that, you've made that benchmark. So it's always that you can never tell no. They know that if I give it to her, she will tell no, whatever hook and crook, she will do it. And we also, as a human being, we have an expectation where people praises, or that's always there, I feel. I'm not very sure, but that's there.
So yes, absolutely, got to be very, very pertinent point. Absolutely, we expect and we do it. Then why is it difficult? Then why is it difficult? If they expect us and we do it, then it's not even difficult.
You're so used to that you can't tell no at all. It's not difficult. It is like as I mentioned you before, people know that she will be doing it. And all these ads on, you don't want to hurt them. Your expectation is that they have to tell it. You don't want your relation to do. So the difficulties is all of these, actually.
Yeah. So
You made
embedded fears,
yes,
embedded expectations,
yes.
embedded, fear of losing a relationship or going lower on expectations. That's what we are discussing here. Okay, so that's about saying no, but what about others? So some people wrote the number 4, which is ask for a time off from your manager. Why is that difficult?
I mean, it's the same expectation which we have built in from the previous working experience with the manager,
So what
where
happens if
we
the expectation breaks? What's the
Bindu, I like
we're on
to
the
add a
verge of
point
that.
which happened
sorry,
with me.
so Bharat, you were saying something?
Yeah, we are on the verge of that. We are just changing those scenarios. Like in the last week only, I denied something. So yes, we are in the process of that. But you feel bad because you have some deliverables to deliver, and they have some expectations that it should be delivered before this time, so that you
So
have.
what happens if you don't meet that expectation?
I mean to say that the experience till now, nothing happened bad.
Hmm.
Nothing went bad.
Then
It's
what
just that
stops you? What
maybe
stops you? What do you
we have given that buffer, or we have given that space to the people around us, that we are available on these times, and we can extend.
Hmm.
And this is a habit which has built up from the past years, and which
So then,
we are not able to go back.
yeah, why? Why is it so difficult? And I'm sorry, I'm giving you all hard time, but then that is the core. That is where we need to
Mhm.
go.
I think
So,
that's why
Uh,
we are
we
here to
understand we have
understand.
set wrong expectations. We
Yes,
understand all
yes.
of that. But at the same time, now to go back on the original contracts or original expectation, why is it so difficult?
Maybe that's a repo part which already
Yeah.
uh,
So
Tika
fear
might
of
have said. Yeah,
losing the repo.
yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
The personality of yours which have already built up in front of others, and now you don't want to
Losing
take a
your
U-turn.
brand?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I feel it's trust.
I
Yeah, sorry.
Trust.
Very big point. So losing
Yeah.
trust of someone. So if you lose trust, then what happens?
Maybe
They
next time
never
maybe will
try.
not come to you. Yeah, they will not come to you. That
Yeah.
opportunity will not come to you. Maybe that's the
Yeah,
point.
so losing trust means losing opportunities.
Yes.
If losing opportunities, then what happens if you lose opportunities?
No promotions. They don't give you accountability.
Yeah.
So
Recognition will not be there. Maybe.
No
yeah.
promotion, no recognition. Okay. So if no
they'll
promotion,
halt
no
our
recognition, what will happen?
they will halt our learning. I
Yeah,
believe like
growth will be stable.
above promotion, I feel like they'll won't give us opportunity to learn new things. They'll like
Okay.
obstruct us in that path.
Fair enough. Then what happens if your learning is halted?
Your career does not grow. You
Hmm.
don't grow in your career. You're there in
Growth
the
is
same
stable. Yeah.
position.
Career growth. Okay. Everything, the buck stops here. If career
Nope.
doesn't grow, then what happens?
We get frustrated and we start looking for a new company, new people to work with, not new company.
Okay. Yes. Agree.
And in turn, we look for a new company where we'll get new people because they won't give you roll off also.
Okay. So
And the
career growth
same
doesn't happen, then what will
and
happen if you could
and
choose
the
to
sa-
stay there?
what happens is like once the career growth is not there, you go to another company also. There also it will be the same process happening out there
Yeah. So it's a
again. So
cycle.
you can't keep changing company to company.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
think again in the new company to establish yourself, you will repeat the cycle. You will extend initially and then later on burn out in the process. I'm just assuming.
Okay. So I'm great.
And
We are going in the
Bindu,
right direction. Now let me just
but
ask you one thing. Sorry. Yes. Vidit, you wanted to say something?
yeah. One more point I wanted to bring in was the culture aspect of the organization itself,
Hmm.
and some of it will relate to the peer group that we have. For example, if the culture of the organization does not promote, say, asking time off, or if it is considered on an opposite way, like it's a culture, right, that you switch off on weekends, Saturday, Sunday, no working, right? So even it's easier to say no if it's a culture in the organization itself. But if it is not, then you're always worried that if you have a similar peer who is doing some part of the work, that you are also in direct kind of competition with them as well, right? Because of the limited resources and promotions or whatever appraisal we are all gunning for, all
A
organizations
fear
are
of,
creating that.
yeah,
Yeah,
fear of competition, fear of, and then end of the day, buck stops here, right? Career growth,
yeah,
especially in
yes,
the
yes.
office scenario, the corporate.
Yes,
Okay.
because for every time you're saying no, Binduji, there's somebody who might say yes, right? And he might be willing to stretch when you have said no. So that also you don't want to lose out. So, but if it's a culture in the organization itself, then
Then,
it
of course,
it
then the
lot
fears
depends.
are different.
Yes, yes,
But they
Maybe
are still fears.
that's right.
So, what do you see?
another.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think another thing will be that that learning. Maybe we are miss that learning if you don't. If you say no, we'll miss that learning part of the new project which is coming to us, or that scenario that new work is
Absolutely.
coming and we can learn something, and but we are denying it just because it's a weekend, or we don't want to extend, or we just want to say no.
So, that's also something called, so latest term, FOMO, fear of missing out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what do you see on this slide? All the bad handwriting, but more than that, what do you see? What do you see? Why are these things difficult?
Bindu, I have a question. I have a question. Like, I'm
Sure.
sorry, like, but I have a question. Like, what is more important to have in your job, getting promotion or getting growth?
That's a very,
Because
very,
people said like, if
yes, Shri.
because people said like they feel like there will be competition. If you one thing which we find difficult, there is competition, there is promotion things. But I really want to know like what should one look in a company, getting promotion or getting growth? Because like there is only one thing which can make you satisfied with your job.
Okay. What is that for you?
Like yeah, one thing like for me it is like getting growth. And
Hmm.
but like I just wanted to know, get your views on this point, like
Okay.
what should be the optimal thing, like getting promotion or getting growth in a company?
Okay. So let's take one example here. And before I even answer that, let me just tell you that everyone, each one of us who's joined this or who's watching us, all of us are in our own journeys. Something's important, something is not. Promotion is important because some people need more money, some people need more recognition for their hard work, or there could be 10,000 reasons why I need that promotion. But I'm not here to question why you need promotion, why you need to learn, because that's a driver that you've already set for your life. And to question that will take us to another tangent, which we will do, maybe cover in some other a workshop around finding our real purpose. Okay, so I'm not going to go down that path right now, Shri, but very important question that you've raised is that what if I don't get the career growth? But how does our brain work? Everything at work, whatever moments, minutes we spend with our colleagues, with our bosses, with our ecosystem environment, uh, everything that we do is gunning towards growth. It could be career growth, promotion, recognition, whatever. But end of the day, you want that for some kind of security. What is that security about? What are you gunning for? Why do we need that career growth? Is Shree's question. Shree, if you want to answer, why do you need a career growth? Do you need a career growth? Why do you work? What do you do with that? What you get?
To add on to this particular question, career growth is, yes, it is important. Promotion is also important. For example, you only want to be learning. So it's, if you're a process leader, it's not necessary that you need to be a process leader even for 10 years, because you have to be learning. You can't be learning the same thing for more than 10 years. So once you go from a process leader to a line manager, you have more other learnings rather than this. So I feel career growth is important, but promotion is also important, and both should go hand in hand. And why that is
What
important? Because
I would just interrupt you there, but you know, we are talking about ourselves. For me, career growth is important. But do you know in other parts of the world now, from India, the culture that we live in, we are looking at growth. But I have seen in countries like US, in countries like UK, people have been in the same position, and I've also seen that they have denied promotions because that will call for more time. Same positions, very minimal increase in the salary, but they're sitting there for 20 years. So drivers are different. For us, it may be that, but talk about your own driver. And what I want all of you, in the interest of time, I'll just close this conversation here. But what I want to drive here is that all that you see here on this slide and more, whatever you find difficult at workplace, there's always some or the other fear behind it. Do you see that? Do you see that on the slide? Some people are fearing of hurting relationships, their repo, brand, getting judged, losing opportunities. But these are all fears. Do you all agree?
Yes.
Yeah. So the first thing I want all of you to do is just make a list of all the fears that you're grappling with right now. All the fears that you think stop you from taking these actions, from asking questions in public forums, from being critical, for saying no, whatever makes it difficult for you at the workplace. Write down all these fears, because you know what? Anyone behaving in a certain way, any conflict that you get into, the core reason behind it is that there is some embedded fear that is stopping you. Identify, for all of us, we have different kind of fears. I had a fear of saying no, or even, rejecting somebody's point of view. And I would not cut anyone. I would not, and that is where, a lot of times in my career, I was considered as passive, not very, somebody who can stand up for herself in the initial part of my career. And that's where I realized that, oh, you know what? The culture that I was growing up at my, in my family as well, was that in front of elders you can't speak, you cannot tell them no, you cannot put across your point of view, because you might end up disrespecting them. So I understand where fears come from, but will these fears help you in your career? No. So these are passive fears that we've built over a period of time in our lives. And how do we deal with these fears? Which fears we choose to deal with that can help you push forward is something which can also help you deal with some conflicts in your life. Now, let me come to the topic of conflict. But is this point clear to everyone? Any questions, anything that is still hanging? Do you all believe that fears drive a lot of conflicts? Yes, no?
Yes, agreed, Binduji.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. So let's move on, and I'm going to do a quick quiz with all of you. Okay. And thank you, Nehul, Sandeep. Okay. So let me show you some of the most common conflict situations. Okay. And I'll pick on few of them. And I want you to think through and tell me quickly, what do you think will be the fears on both the ends of that conflict? So let's move on. And here are the most common conflicts at the workplace. Can you see? It could be that you are a team member, and you have a point in mind that why does my manager micromanage so much? I just hate it when he or she calls me every hour. What do you think is the embedded fear of the manager? Quickly.
Maybe he feels that we always miss something to deliver.
Absolutely. So he has or she has a fear that you will miss it, which means that there is a lack of trust.
Yes.
Yeah. What else?
Yes.
Very good. Very good.
Perfection.
Yes, because I drive perfection, you might not be able to uh, do it perfectly. And that's why I micromanage. Very good. I can see some points as well. Not letting things go wrong. Yes, because we want perfection. Nehul says work will not be done in the right way. Right? So that is the fear from their end. Now, why that micromanagement is problematic for you? What is happening for you as a team member? What are your fears that you're feeling so uncomfortable about it?
The question that am I not being trusted enough?
Yeah, and what will happen? Self-doubt. Very good. So what will happen if that fear is true? If you're not trusted enough?
Our performance will go down.
Yes. So do you see the interplay? Do you see the fears interplay?
Very much.
Yeah. And that is where um That is where you need to think through. Whenever there is a conflict situation next time at your workplace, think through, what are the fears I'm dealing with today? What might be the possible fear of my manager? Now, I have taken this example, but um, tell me, if you now think through the manager's fear that there might be some trust issue or the person is perfectionist, what actions, and somewhere are able to deal with your own fears. Now, if you had to deal with your manager's fears, what are the actions you will take
I'll promptly update my manager with all the tasks which I have been doing all day,
in
sending a
advance?
very good status mail at the
I
end
guess
of the day.
proactive approach.
Proactive approach, absolutely. And you will
Concentrate and work.
see, sorry,
Concentrate and work.
concentrate more and work. Okay, if that helps, yes. At least showcase to your boss how much are you concentrating and focusing, so he builds that trust on you.
Share your planners.
Yes, so I see a very interesting point coming in from Bhanu. Bhanu, and here is our guest of the day, and I know that this is something which is very very interesting. That Bhanu, are you there? You're on mute if you're
Yes,
talking.
yes.
Okay. So would love to know the point that you've written. Have come across people who like being micromanaged. So just elaborate on that. Maybe that'll help.
So I've come across quite a few people who love being micromanaged, and who like to come to your office again and again, take instructions, detailed instructions of what needs to be done. Uh, so they just love it, and I know of managers firsthand who like to give those instructions in that detail, and they are happy doing it. And it's not that they are completely like that. They will be different with different set of people who like autonomy, and so they would like to have both kind of people in their teams. uh, and uh, and I have seen like both the people who are getting micromanaged happy, and I've seen people who are given a lot of liberty also happy with the same manager. So lot I think lot depends upon us as well, and the maturity of the manager. uh, yeah.
Absolutely. Very, very pertinent point, Bhanu. Thank you for adding it. So why micromanagement at times work, and when it works and when it doesn't work as a manager, does your manager have that kind of maturity? Lucky you if they have, unfortunate you if they don't. But then the point is that what are you doing about it? If you're happy with the setup, good. So you're like, filling in the puzzle gap. But if you're not happy about it, the idea here is to think through, what is the fear you're dealing with and what is the fear that other person is dealing with. Anyone? So Dharmesh, you want to say something? Okay, I
Bindu,
see a
can I
very,
add something?
yes, please.
Bindu, maybe I feel maybe his maturity is less. Well, maybe I'm in a good place to deliver the things on time and I know the fundamentals. But maybe my manager is not in that maturity of that level that he feels happy to micromanage things. And due to be survive in that place, I am comfortable in delivering that. I know if he doesn't call me, I will deliver. If he call me, I will also deliver. Right? If he questions me, I know that if he doesn't question me, still I know the answers with me with myself. So that maturity is not there at that level, and he is sitting in that place because he has earned it during the year. He has experience, but you cannot change those things in that scenario, and maybe you have to deal with those things in that scenario only. That okay, let's have a meeting 2 times in a day, 3 times in a day, to just to see the status of the work. And I know the level where we are coming from and where you are coming from.
Can
Great.
I share a real life example in this case?
Please do. Absolutely.
So what happened was, yeah, we were asked to give a daily plan, and for me, I've never been in an environment where I have to tell that what my entire team is going to do every day for the next 1 month. So
Wow.
I said, can you please trust us? And I mean, it was a very direct conversation. Can you please trust us? We'll do our job well. And the immediate, it backfired into a conflict saying that, don't you think I'm trusting you? Why you say, I urge you to trust us. And the answer was, why do you think I'm not trusting you? And I've given you more autonomy than anyone else. So it went into a conflict.
Okay. So, Bhanu, would you want to jump in here? Because I know this is your area. So,
No,
yes.
I'm saying sometimes, and I mean, like this person is actually a close friend, and he is just happy doing it. He's kind of a person who is not looking for too much of growth, and he needs his work-life balance, his chuttis in the year, and all that. And he's very comfortable and secure with that piece. So he complements, you can say, as Dharmesh wrote, incompetence or whatever we may call it. Incompetence may be that he is actually incompetent, or it might be his perception about himself that I am not that competent. So he's supplementing that piece with surrendering to the manager, if we want to use that word, or visiting him at least 4 times a day, and carrying on and being in the good books, getting an average rating and being alive. So he's also happy. So all I'm saying is that the point I'm trying to make here is that it's a personal choice, uh, which we all are making. Like एक कहावत है हिंदी में कि मरे बिना स्वर्ग नहीं मिलता. So if we want to, I mean, if we want a fast pace, if we want a career, if we want all those things, so we will have to somewhere surrender certain things. And so it's, I would not say that uh, being micromanaged is wrong, or micromanaging wrong. Both ways. It's a personal choice. It's your trade-off, and the kind of life which you are expecting. So that's the only thing. Uh,
So, Nureen, by any chance, did you get your answer out of these wonder words?
Yeah, it's a personal choice not to be. So my choice was not to get micromanaged,
Hmm.
but it ended up in a conflict. So uh, ultimately, I had to. Finally, I made my team give their plan. But yeah, I don't know what was the right thing to do, because if you don't want to get micromanaged, what is the way out? Probably I look for these answers throughout the session.
Sure,
Yes,
sure.
Bindu, like
Bindu,
micromanagement.
if I can, uh,
Yes,
hello.
Mehul, please.
Yeah. So, so one thing, I mean, of course, we pan out and look at all these conflicts, and I come from a perspective that we choose our battles, and it's very important to choose our battles.
Yes.
Do I want to really get into it? Now, why do I want to get into it? Because situation puts me there, and it's a matter of survival, and all that will keep happening. But the fact is, uh, do I look at the person sitting there, whom I call a supervisor or my line manager, as my customer or as an employer? And the first question I ask myself is, if I were not to get paid for what I get paid for, and if I were to get business revenue out of what I do, would I do my things, or what I do today, will it be any different from what I'm currently doing if I
Hmm.
don't get paid for salary for what I'm doing? Maybe a lot of perspectives do change, because I may
That's
have a
beautiful. Absolutely, Mehul. That is awesome. If I were not working for money, let me be very
yeah I,
straight. Direct.
yeah
If I was not working for money, will I do this or will I not? But end of the day, if I am working for money, that is my need. Then what is the shift I can make? Where, and I love your point around choosing your battles. Now, thank you, Mehul, for
Bindu,
that.
I
Bindu,
just want to
one
just
point.
clarify a little bit here, Bindu.
Okay.
My
Yes,
point
Mehul.
here is, I will work for money, and I think people who say they don't work for money, there's a serious issue there. because most people do work for money. My point here was, do I work for the salary, or do I, if this money that I get as salary, I receive it as business revenue for the
Hmm.
work done and not as salary?
Hmm.
Will any of the things that I do or I want to avoid doing, will it change ever?
Okay, so you're
If I'm
talking
a
about that entrepreneurial
yes,
thought process, that if it was my organization, if it was me,
yes,
then what would I do? Yes, anchoring
I,
yourself to organizational alignment, perfect. I think then there is
I
no
I
way.
would like
and you
to.
can, then you
Uh,
have only different customers. You never have a difficult employee. I mean, my boss can be difficult. My customer is my customer. वो दाल रोटी देता है मुझे, and
Now
he'll
that
figure
is
me out.
where, and that is where I will now go back to Bhanu. Bhanu, I have seen a lot of people talking about this, that my customers are happy with me. What is the problem with my boss? And most of the times, the attitude is that, as long as my customers are happy, I don't care what my boss thinks. Now, is there a problem with that kind of mindset, or what kind of problems we can land in that, or is that the right way to go? So I want your insights into this, Bhanu.
See, this, I think my customers are happy with me is secondary. Like it comes afterwards. Your relationship with your boss actually goes back, or it stems somewhere at a point. I would say your relationship with the authority. So your relationship with your dad, maybe in the starting, and then with your other authority figures in the family, and then in your workplace. So we have a perception of the authority, and we expect certain things from them. If we don't get it, uh, then we start behaving the way we do, and then uh, to kind of uh, now, since we also feel that most of the times the authority is actually, or my manager is the organization, though we talk of lot of things, culture of the organization, and like HR and policies and all that. But what I have experienced that my immediate manager is the organization for me, subconsciously, and the way he behaves, I, I take the organization to behave in that manner. So that
Okay, so let me put a more difficult question to you, Bhanu, and I'm sorry for putting it putting you on spot. So, is it possible to survive in an organization without alignment with your boss? And I'm being very honest, very open about this question, because this is the undercurrent. I am great
uh,
I'm a high performer, high potential, but I don't get along with my boss. The rest is all fine. What do I do?
So again, I would I would again go back. I would, let me put it in three separate buckets, and I'll take like some 3-4 minutes
Please,
to
please.
answer this so
Yes,
that
yes.
we all develop a common understanding. So in this whole picture, so first and foremost important thing is that you need to assess yourself. Like, who are you? Who are you overestimating yourself? What are your strengths and weaknesses? Right, what is your personal style? I used to be very elaborative and detail oriented some years back, and I'm even attempting to answer this question in that way, but my boss used to get turned off, and then some point on the way I realized that he's not being attentive to my conversations, right? So I started being more objective, and I started only taking one topic at a time with him, and it started working. So we need to assess ourselves. We should not be estimating ourselves. We need to understand our boss also. Like, what are his goals? What are his pressures? What are his strengths? what is he expecting from me, right? Am I dependable? Can he bank on me? So once this understanding is developed, and when once we assess the gap between this understanding, right, then we work on mutual expectations. So sometimes your boss is mature, he can have a dialogue on those mutual expectations with you. Sometimes if he is not, then you need to do that dialogue with him, and you need to keep him informed. So once that is there, I don't think this kind of situation will occur. And So once you become dependable, you can take so even if like somebody asked about that chutti, not being able to say no. So I can tell you that in an organization I know of very very closely, they had a similar culture, but there was a person on whom the boss depended like very heavily, and this person will leave office at 6 o'clock. He will take his छुट्टीज, बाकी के टीम मेंबर को छुट्टी नहीं मिलती थी, and he used to be very very upfront with the boss, and people used to think that he's probably related to him, whereas ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं था, because he was indispensable, and he was so either you become that, either you become indispensable, you are too good in your job that your boss doesn't have any other choice than to bank on you. Then so it's declaring yourself that your customers are happy and everybody is happy will not work. The system will have to say that your customers are happy. So the system is actually your boss, your peers, and other people. You claiming it will not help. That's my point.
Mhm. So all the
Bindu,
stakeholders, yes, Gautami, sorry, go ahead.
I think I just want to give a small scenario. I was working in corporate company as a training and development specialist. I'm on my bulker side with a dark complexion. So when I initially had to be hiring my manager didn't hire this. They were the general manager who hired it. She was not ready to take me because she always had a thing that a trainer or a person who teach should be slim, should be beautiful, and all those stuff things that was happening. So most of the time, and I had 3,000 employees whom I was training to different levels, from the lower level to the higher level. And as you said, that it's not very necessary that you have to, you have to be satisfying your boss. When you have to take a ratio of a boss into employee, so you had something like 1:3,000. So my concentration was much on them. Yes, she was trying to put me down. She was not giving me recognition. She was ignoring me, all those. And I'm a person who's always upfront. It really took 1 year for her to know that from where to where I was. I was just initially started with the junior level of training and development specialist, but within a week I was promoted. Within a week I was promoted to work what I did it. So there's something called trust, and the trust you just can't get to people within a day or a month or two, a couple of months. It really takes time. And within 9 months, I could get the trust of her. So it was like, though a person used to ignore me, though a person felt I was very upfront, she knew what I was. When I had to quit the company, it was literally like, no, I don't want you to be quitting. The person who always felt that she's little dark in complexion, she's bulker side, she had to accept the telling that the talent was more important. So we would to get what more important to managers or to micromanage your work, everything is the trust is very, very important. You do
Absolutely.
for
So,
yourself.
Gautami, great point, and I think a lot of respect to you for sharing your journey so honestly, so candidly. Thank you so much. I think that will be an inspiration for a lot of people out here. And one word that has caught my attention in last 15 minutes that we've repeated at least 10 times in different ways is trust. Agree? What does trust do? Trust actually helps reduce fears. Do you all agree? And then that takes me back to the original point that every conflict that you are having, there is some underlying fear that is in both the parties. So, to Bhanu's point, Bhanu beautifully kept. Let me now understand my own fear, my own style, and also understand the other parties. It could be boss, it could be anyone. That is the first core reason of any kind of conflict, professional or personal. Now, if I were to just give you one simple exercise, okay, can you see on the slide what's happening? Yes, no? Can you see?
Yes.
What's happening here? Quickly.
2 star, 2 lives.
Okay, what comes next?
Star. You put a 4 and you put a star.
Yeah, what comes next?
2 lines.
2
Two
lines.
lines. What does it denote?
Dependability.
This
After a certain achievement, there are some obstacles you need to overcome to get 2 more stars.
okay, let me just remove the stars and make circles instead of it.
It's a trend. Trend. Simple trend.
Parallel. Parallel. Parallel.
Yeah, now let me put zero instead of stars. It will still give you an answer of Pat. So, what we want to, and I want to establish here is that yes, Tejal, it's a pattern. It's a pattern that our brain tends to read very, very quickly. And if you're repeating the same behavior again and again, the brain becomes a little more predictive, right? That next is this, next are these two lines, and same as with our behaviors. So trust on anything. So for example, I give something to Bhanu to do, okay, and he says I'll do it, and he won't do it. Second time again I give something and he says I'll do it, and he won't do it. It's a pattern. So next time, what will I do? I will not say anything to Banu. I'll not give that work to Banu because I have a prediction that he will not do, even if we say that.
Or I will micromanage it.
Yeah. Very, very good point. Yeah. So otherwise, I'll give him and then I will call him every minute. Now, that is how trust is built or broken. So if you want to double click on trust, there are trust that we build on different aspects, especially at the workplace. One is the trust on your competency. How much does your manager trust on your competency or on your consistency, on your commitment, right? And competency, commitment, sharing, understanding, these are some 5 elements of trust that you always remember. And best way to build trust based relationships is by ensuring that you are, especially at work, the first 3, building trust on these first 3 elements. Does my boss or do my clients trust me on my competency? If not, then what can I do repeatedly to build that trust, right? Similarly, do people around me trust me on my commitments? If they're micromanaging, probably that could be one of the reasons that they don't, or it could be their problem as well. But there is a scenario that they might not be trusting on your commitment. So what can you do in the long term, pattern, repeated consistently, to be able to build that trust on the commitment? And the third one is sharing, that this person I trust will share with me whatever is important for me. So are you doing these 3 things? Forget about understanding and loyalty. That's like long term stuff, and maybe in some EI session I'll take you through that. But start with this. And to your answer, Noreen, one of the things that you might want to see is that what level of trust do you have with your boss, consciously or unconsciously? Rate yourself on those levels and see Which one do you want to build first before having a conversation? Yeah. So, with that note, let me just move ahead in the interest of time. I think the conversations have been just quite amazing. It's 1 hour already. But let me just quickly take you through the second core reason before we move on to the Q&A. But I hope you understand the whole concept of fear and how trust helps reduce the fear. Now, let's move on to the second core reason. Okay. If I were to ask you, what what do you mean by values? What are values? It is Dharmesh's favorite topic. What are values? What do you think are values? We are grown up with that. These are our algorithms basis which we make decisions. What do you think it is? Quickly.
Means
Sorry, got me. You're on mute now.
personal belief.
Beliefs, okay. Okay. So how are belief different than values? Your set of rules, Shri. Okay. So set of rules for what?
Set of rules of doing anything or any work. Like if I'm commit if I have a rule with myself, okay, whatever task is assigned, I'll do it very diligently. I'll give proper time. I'll show my commitment. So that set of rules becomes values for me.
Okay. So basically, so are those your values? Or are those your, the way you work? I mean, give some more clarity. One more attempt to anyone who wants to.
So for me, values are to decide what is my priority, what is wrong, what is right, what is wrong. So when I decide on
Brilliantly.
something,
Absolutely. Bang on. It is our rights and wrongs. It might not be, so what I feel is right might not be right in your eyes, right? So values are your predefined rights and wrongs that you have learned over a period of time. In one country, if you do something, it's considered right. In another country, it's considered wrong. So it's in one organization, it is considered okay, and in other organization, it's considered wrong. So these are set of values of rights and wrongs. Shri, I love the line that you wrote. It's driver of your conscious decisions. Yes. Sandeep, very important point that you've written. Cannot compromise with. Personal values are the ones that you will not compromise. Having any value, I mean, all values sound right, okay? But you might have some out of them that you don't compromise with. Some you can, some you don't, right? So now let me just open up a slide for you. These are set of, some values that I have shown you. Can you see the slide? Now choose your top three. Choose your top three and write down on the chat box which are the ones that are your core, that something that you will never ever want to negotiate on. Values are things where, if you compromise on them, it hurts. It really feels like you are misaligned. So these are your basic algorithms of your personality. Basis that you make decisions. You expect people to have same values also, but we'll come to that later. But out of these words, which are the top three? And even those top three, write in order which one is the most important, then second most important, and then third most important. That's how values are stacked in our brain as well. So quickly, let's do this quick exercise, everyone. Read through these words, write down your top three in the chat box. Sandeep says ethics, humility, reliability. Bharat says trust, teamwork, accountability. Now let's take these two examples. Yeah. Ethics and trust. What is the possible conflict that Sandeep and Bharat can have when it comes to ethics for Sandeep and trust for Bharat? Narcissus says caring, health, and self discipline. Okay. What role do these values play in conflicts? Let me give you a quick example of that. Yeah. Both me and my husband were working in a corporate job few years ago. And I was doing a training for 30 people who had traveled from across the country. And I was doing a training workshop for them. And my husband had a very important call that day with his clients across the globe, and he had to present. So both of us were in very high spirits, and we did all the best, and we went to our respective work. And I got this call while I was training. I got this call from my daughter's school, and the teacher said that she has been vomiting, so please take her home. My first reaction was, okay, I called up my home. I booked a cab. I called up my home, my parents. And I said, just go in that cab and get her at home. The same call went to my husband, and he told his clients that I have a family emergency and I'm leaving. And he left. He left the call. Okay. So before the cab arrived, he was there at the school and he got the daughter home. Now, in the evening, when we were talking about what happened, I told him that I got this call and, I had arranged for a cab. Now, what do you think happened here? Who was right? Who was wrong?
You are an entrepreneur. He is in a job.
Both of us were doing a job at that point in time. But what do you
No one is wrong. I think that's your value system. That's the way you take decision. As you mentioned, algorithm of your decision making.
Absolutely. For me, commitment comes first. If I've committed, I'll feel very bad if I go back on my commitment. So I'll do everything around to get onto that commitment. For my husband, family is first. Anything, come what may, he'll leave it right there if it comes to family. Now, it could be, if we were not matured enough, it could be a very potential area of conflict. Do you agree? Because if our values don't match, it can get into a very ugly fight, because anyone under the sun would say no, your family should come first. People come with different perspectives, and there will be half of people will say, oh no, he's right, you should take care of family, work will happen, money will come. And there'll be some people who will say, no, you did the right thing, be practical. Yeah, come on, we need to be practical about stuff at times. Now, this is what typically happens in any conflict. We make decisions basis what are our top priorities, what are our top values. It might or might not match, but conflict comes when we start judging other person's decision based on our values. Is that making sense? Now, if I see a lot of yeses here, then I'll know that it's making sense to you. Okay. Thank you, Shri. Now, let me see how many of you can identify conflicting values here. Okay. So, which values do you see that will get conflicted if somebody else has? So, let me give you one example.
Patience, risk taking.
Patience and risk taking. Smart. Okay. So, risk taking and patience is one. Very good. So, a person who works with patience vis-a-vis person who works with risk taking, the styles will be different. Narcissus says control, yes, and commitment. No, okay. Sandeep said commitment. So, give me two values that can create conflicts. Okay, in the interest of time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to...
Generosity and security. I read somewhere.
Okay, ambition and Nasir, if somebody is ambitious and family maybe, or financial stability, risk taking versus financial stability. So here are some of the examples for all of you. I know that you've got it. So control and trust, risk taking and safety, or ease with uncertainty. Some people, accountability and balance, commitment and excellence. Now these are some of the examples of contradicting values. um, So thank you. So that's one part. And Dharmesh, thank you for being here. I know you need to drop off. I would have loved to get your lovely nuggets. Anything before you go you want to share, because you happen to be our common coach.
My goodness.
We are
No,
we
no.
because of you. So give us some good gyan last
No,
party.
I think the way you are going about this is fantastic, and I just wish I could continue. My bad out here, because when I saw your message in the morning, I assumed it was before 1 hour.
Okay. No worries, no worries.
Yeah. So
Thank you for joining in.
yeah. No, good luck to both of you. I mean, and I guess you guys are in good hand. Bhanu is going to kind of give you a lot of nuggets from his experience, which is very vast. And Bindu has this amazing ability of connecting the dots, which she will be doing, and as she's doing right now. So good luck to both of you and everyone. Thank you.
Thanks, Dharmesh.
Thank you, Ramesh.
Thank you for joining in. You boosted our confidence and spirits.
Take care. Bye.
Thanks. Okay. So back to the session. What are the two core reasons for which, and this is just a thought that I want all of you to leave with before we get on to our Q&A round. So two core reasons. The first we discussed as the fear, and second we discussed as conflicting values. If at all we can create that understanding of what are the values of other person, why is he making decision the way he is, and also look at the embedded fear, why is he behaving the way he is, what are the embedded fears, these two answers can help you develop that true empathy for the other person. And then the dialogue that you will have with that person will be very, very different. Now, these are the core, but now let's move on to the most interesting part of the session, which is with Bhanu. Bhanu, over to you and over to all of you. Do you have any questions on boss management, client management, workplace conflicts, anything that you would like to ask? So I'm opening up the Q&A for all of you.
Hi, Bindu. This is Preeti here.
Yes, Preeti.
I have a question.
No.
Uh, so, sorry. I don't know how to put it, but I see there is a many times there is a mismatch of personality, because of, like, I am pretty how should I say, innovation, efficiency. Uh, that is my core of a personality, and I want to take it up my game all the time and prove that excellent way. But sometimes your team members, I have a big team, and it may not, it may it may not be their calling, and they sometimes feel pressurized. And I think I have sensed this in throughout my career. I'm pretty committed, but and if somebody is not that commitment, probably in his the list you have shown, if in somebody's life the commitment is not the top priority, nothing wrong in that. It's their belief system, their value system, but it creates unwanted conflict, you know. So very rightly you mentioned, if I understand those traits, then how can you avoid those conflict and create a win-win, because as a leader you want your team to take to next level, but maybe uh, but maybe The people around you, that is not their calling.
They, it's not their calling. Okay. So Bhanu, over to you.
So, Preeti, first of all, I'm trying to understand your question and correct me if I've understood it correctly. What you are, the core of your conflict is that while you want to be accepted in the group, at the same time, you want to remain independent of the group as well. Am I right?
Not sure, Bhanu. What I'm trying to say, um, so I joined an organization pretty recently, and they are kind of almost 10 to 15 folks. When I joined that, my thing is that if I have joined, I should bring value to everyone. I should add more value to the whole system. But probably the people out there, it is not what they're looking for. They look for comfort. They look for it's okay to
So,
maintain. Yeah.
right. So I'll just take the lead and stop you here. So I'll go by your first statement that you want to add value, and the underlying perception is that that value is not there at present. So in a way, you are trying to, by innovation and by other things, just try to absorb this, sit back, think about it. You're trying to remain independent, or you're trying to maintain your own identity in the group, while you want a very strong acceptance from the group as well. But you want to be accepted the way you are, by being innovative and all that. So maybe, if you want to explore this piece, that while being innovative and while being aggressive, are you somewhere putting them down in that process? Uh,
What
right?
fears are
If,
you? Yeah.
yeah, if not, then why are they scared, or why are they not absorbing you, or why are they not living up to your expectations? That piece need to be explored. And one thing I can tell you, that if somebody is like that, come what may, whatever you do, there will be a set of people who will feel scared, who will fear you. So you will have to live with that. I mean, I've tried my best, and I know many people. Even if you help people, you automate their stuff, you take their work to next level. Still, it is I mean, like, survival of the fittest. So not many people have that mindset of abundance, so that feeling will be there. You just need to just explore one piece in this whole thing, that are you somewhere being, in the process, rude to them, or are you consciously or continuously telling them that I'm better than you? Maybe just tone down that piece a bit,
Okay.
and the acceptance will improve. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, I think you gave me a very good food for thought on those lines. Yeah, thank you, Ben. Very
Excellent.
underlying thing which you mentioned, which I did not think on those lines, but yeah, I think yeah, good. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Preeti. And one line that I absolutely love is meaning of the communication is what is understood.
Yeah,
It's never about what you say. It's about what
correct,
is understood. So if it's not getting understood, you might need to change the way you're
correct.
communicating your point of view. Great. Okay. So thank you so much for being the first one to ask the very tough question. Good. I'm very proud of positive
Good
lights.
question,
Come on,
Bhanu.
let's get more out of this group. Okay. Who wants to go next?
I want to be asking one question. Uh, Hello,
Let's take
Banu.
Gautami's
Yeah,
question
Gautami.
and then we'll take Sandeep's. Yes.
Okay. Banu, when it comes to personal, see, conflict could be personal as well as professional. So when it comes to personal, what happens? You always, when you have problems with your in-laws, especially initially when I got married, there were problems. It was I really had a tough conflict, and there were a lot of things. But somewhere it was like I was upfront, and when there was a mistake from both the sides, it was with a word called sorry and thank you. which happen. So we don't have any problem till touch wooden goal. Till now, we don't have any problem. Anything, we just tell sorry for it and thank you. That comes when it comes to your personal. Can the same thing be implemented when it comes to your professional? I know it does not make sense, but can you be upfront to your higher authority? Is it wrong? And can it's not that you make always a mistake. Sometimes, as I said, you when you don't do mistake, when you are perfect in everything, that trust happens. But as a human being, we tend to make mistake most of the time, right? So can the same thing with a bit of sorry and thank you go to build a trust among anybody? It's not only higher authority, your co-worker or anyone. Can those two things really make you good, or really have a trust with the people? Can that happen?
So, Gautami, first of all, I would say again a great question, and maybe this is what we all are dealing with. That how to answer or how to handle once the conflict arises, because uh, they are part of our life. So I'll break it down into two pieces so that we all understand. Uh, Whenever a conflict arises, uh, we we have a tendency to address it, right? And if we don't address it, we will have a worry and that worry will lead to anxiety that something might happen. And as Bindu shared in the starting, fear and values. So fear is one thing on which we have thrived and survived as a separate species. So we will build a very big fearful castle if we don't act. So what you are doing is the only way to address anxiety is by acting on it. So what you are doing, Gautami, is that you are acting by saying a thank you or a sorry, or you are approaching them for a dialogue and you are trying to address it. So it has worked for you in the personal life, and I can tell you it has worked for me both in personal and professional life, and I've seen it working for other people. Only thing is there are consequences. So when in the mid career, when I was doing it, some people even said that it is immature to do. Why do you have to kind of go and address it? So I did a bit of fine tuning, in the sense that uh, I segregated it, that do I need to address all the conflicts? Can I live with some open cases? Do I need to close everything or not? So wherever it was irrelevant, or I don't have a day-to-day dealing, or which are not in my general path, I let them be the way they are. But wherever it was necessary, I tried to address them. And now, after so many years, when you are on that journey, you tend to build that image. So, like Bindu said in the starting, that I am generally very upfront and curled. So once you have that long relationship with the person, they will start appreciating that you are like this. And you will, yeah, even in the office space, you will build your image that this person is like this. He will come to you, he will be transparent, he will face things as they are. So my experience is that it works, and it is very very helpful, because you don't have any stress at the end of the day. And many a times, in the office space, you have added advantages. All the grapevine and gossips, and people coming to you and bitching about others, they all stop, because people know that if they come to you and complain about somebody, you are going to pick up the phone then and there, take three people right there in the conference, and you are going to address it. So they will stop all these uh, like the issues which don't exist and are being trying to they're trying to make up, they will stop happening. So I would say it helps even more in the workplace.
Thank you. Thank you.
I can't hear you, Bindu. Your microphone is off.
Okay.
Yeah.
So sorry. So sorry. So thank you so much. I think that is a very detailed answer, and it helps us understand that keeping it in your system internally is obviously not good for health, for organization health, for your health. However, taking it out has its own set of fears. And hence, what's the balance? Somebody in the beginning said a very good line, and that's what is my mantra as well. Choose your battles, choose where you want to speak up, and choose what to let go. If it's important for my career, if it is helping me in any way or helping other person in any way, then it's okay to take it up and have a conversation. But if it is something that is not important to you, not important for the other person, I would just let it go. It's okay. So one is that other mantra, and I would want to be wary of the time as well, but I want to leave all of you with is that having these difficult conversations in an org setup is can be simplified by using something called facilitative language. We might have another session on that later on, having difficult conversations. But I think the scope of this session was to really understand the genesis of conflicts. Why do they even happen? So if you have already understood that fear and value differences are the genesis, and talking it out is important. Other thing that remember, before we go ahead with facilitative language as the next program, always remember we can take different life positions in a conversation. Okay, the first life position is that I'm okay and you are not okay. The conversation will be like, I don't agree with what you're saying. This is what is the point. That's how the tone will be. The other one, the other way in which you can convey your point of view or have a difficult conversation is that I am not okay, but you are okay. Oh, I'm so sorry. I must have misunderstood. Right? The third way is I am not okay. You are not okay. The world is not okay. The organization is not okay. We are all dumped and duped. So you can get into a conversation and have all the gossip and all the endless conversations and get to nothing. But the last one is the most effective mental stance when you go to resolve any conflict is that I'm okay. This is how I'm feeling, but I'm okay. And you are also okay. So, going with this mental stance will help you choose the right words. And right words will help you deal with fears of yours and the other person. And right words is nothing but facilitative language that helps you frame your sentences in a way that the other person's fear is not evoked. And you can still have a mature conversation. So that was my one quick bit for all of you. But okay, so we have last 2 minutes. Last question. Anyone who wants to take it up?
Okay.
Yes, Sandeep.
This is Sandeep. Bindu, thanks for the wonderful session, first of all. I think this is a great conversation and just wanted to continue with this. And I'm thinking that to avoid the conflict, the first thing is a precaution, right? Avoid conflicts at first place. So you can save everything. I mean, time, money, effort, everything. So I'll give you just one scenario with regards to our values. So we all understand fear, but values, you said we have a contradictory values, right? So with your example, trust and ethics. So for an example, me and my boss would have a trust, but when I strongly believe on ethics, right? And if somebody asks me to give some unethical work, right? And my style is to confront. I'll right away go to my boss and I'll say, see, this is not right and this is not wrong. So how to avoid the conflict in this scenario? How to confront in such a way that we will not dig into the conflict.
Banu, you want to take this up?
So yeah, so Sandeep, first of all, uh, uh, I would want to say that just want to uh, I'm not getting the right word. The "I am okay, you are okay" word, which Bindu said. So you said avoid conflict. So that's not the lesson I think which this session is trying to drive home. Bindu, correct me if I am wrong.
Oh, no, yeah,
Conflicts are very healthy. We are not here to avoid conflicts. If conflicts are not there, we would not have been in this world. We would not have been interacting through Zoom. A conflict got created and Zoom got created, and that's how we are on this platform interacting. So avoidance of conflict, it the what we are trying to understand here is that when there is a conflict, and there will be conflicts because of fear and difference in values, how do we address them? How do we have a constructive dialogue? How do we assess, is this conflict first of all worth addressing? I think some Vidit or somebody in the starting said that we have to choose our battles. So why, after we have done that assessment, then we need to come down to that point that okay, this conflict is worth addressing. And when we are addressing it, we have to use the language "I am okay, you are okay." So which means that we have to understand that that person is coming from a different value set, a different frame, and I am coming from a, so we need to listen to him properly. We need to understand his position, and then we need to express our position to him, and then have patience, and try to like reach on to the right point, because you also said during the discussion that when you are talking to him, you know that you are right but he is not. So when we are going with this even if it is 2 plus 2 4, and that the other person is saying 2 plus 2 5, we need to give him his due, and we need to go and understand with patience that what he's trying to say. If you feel that no, it is useless, 2 point plus 2 can never be 5, and you can live with that conflict, then let it be. Don't go, don't address it. But if you are going, you need to if you are going, then you need to give respect to his 2 plus 2 5, and you need to understand how he's arriving at that. And once you give him that time, you will find your answer.
Yes.
That's like my learning in all these years, because
Excellent.
I was very much in the initial years like that. God's gift to mankind, I am right, मैं जो बोल रहा हूँ ठीक है.
I've seen you in that stage also, Banu. Yes, and I've seen that whole
So yeah,
So great.
so there are more intelligent and there are better people than us always.
Absolutely. Yeah. Bad truth, but real truth.
No, the best part in that is one of my bosses shared with me that we should always have better team members or faster horses than us, because he gave an example, कह रहे कि आप जब रथ पे चढ़ते हो, I hope everybody understands Hindi here. So he said when you are on a like not on a horse but like a rath, I don't know what is.
कोई बात नहीं है.
Chariot.
Yeah, carriot, right? So when you are on a carrot, you will only ride it if all your four horses run faster than you. If they don't run faster than you, then there is no point being there. So सेनापति रथ पे तभी चढ़ेगा जब उसको फायदा होगा. So you need to have better team members. You need to know how to manage them. So that's the only point. Uh, so I mean, like, we all should know that we are the horses and that person is the boss. We know he cannot run faster than us, but we should not feel that because we run faster than him, he is lesser than us and he cannot manage us. He
Brilliant.
Yeah, he's there because he knows how to manage and not run faster. He has run faster in his time already. So that's the difference we need to respect.
What a brilliant note to end with. Wow. Thank you, Banu. Uh, it's I don't think we can end in a better note. And Sandeep, I hope you got your answer.
Yes, thank you, Banu,
Next,
and thank you, Bindu.
Thank you so much.
Another last tip that I can add to what Bhanu said about facilitative language, I'm okay, you're okay. Other, just for your example, if you are finding it difficult to have a conversation when you know that, in your head that the other person is wrong, even if that is the mental stance, the tip for everyone is get into a learning or a curious mode, ask more questions. So, what makes you think so? Where are you coming from? What if this happens? Not in a judgment mode, but in a curious mode, and that helps crack a lot of conversations.
Not with sarcasm, but with actual intent.
Actual intent, absolutely. So just an intent to learn more about the other person, get into that curious mode, and I think Bhanu already covered that point. So with that note, we are in the end of the session. In case you have more questions, I'm connected to Bhanu. I'm not sure if it's okay to give your number, Bhanu, but I'll definitely send questions your way. Um, Please feel free to send more questions and we're happy to answer it. Respect to all of you for spending your holiday time in learning. I think that energy comes from you, not from us. So thank you so much for being there. I hope you had a great time. Some positive strokes to us. Yeah, come on. We are sitting here.
Yeah, this was
How are
really
you?
wonderful, Bindu. Really wonderful. Though I joined late, but now I'm missing why did I join late? So thank you very much.
The YouTube video will be available for later as well. So do catch up, and we are already in touch. So thank you, my Positive Lights group, and thanks a ton, Bhanu, for joining.
Thanks a lot. And I would admit that I also had a lot of learning and a lot of reinforcement as well of the ideas which are there in mind. And this is a journey. I mean, like, nobody is perfect. You have conflicts on a daily basis, and so yeah.
I'll
Thanks,
remember
thanks to
your,
everybody.
I'll remember
Thank
your
you.
Thank you.
chariot
Thank
example. Thank you so much. Great. Thanks, everyone. Have a great
Thank you,
week.
Bindu. Thank you, Bhanu.
For
Thank
next
you. Thank you.
next
Thank you.
workshop.
Thank you, Banu.
Bye.
Thank you, Bindu. Bye bye.
Thanks.